Low prices, helpful service. That's Harris Ace Hardware. Harris Ace is your place for Yeti coolers, Traeger grills, Costa de Mar sunglasses, Calcutta Renegade coolers, plus Harris Ace is your hometown dealer for yellow wood treated lumber. Harris Ace will not be undersold on price, so you know you're getting the best price at Harris Ace. Your favorite place for hardware and lumber supplies is Harris Ace Hardware, West Cherry Street in Jesup.
It's time now for a look, ladies and local sports and sports. The high school football banquet held Monday night at the high school commons area. A packed house on hand, hosted by the Wayne County Touchdown Club. The hall decorated by Patty Bryan and Judy Phelps and the Wayne Train theme. Special night, as on hand, was Wayne County legend Len Haas, along with many of his classmates and teammates from the Jesup State Championship team back in the 50s. The Board of Education voted unanimously to add Len Haas's name to the stadium, as it will now be known forever as the Donaldson Madry Haas Field, as Len Haas's name will be added with former coaches John Donaldson and Clint Madry. Len Haas and his family on hand. WIFO had a chance to talk with Len on Monday about this honor and what it meant to him.
Bob, it is a real honor to me, and I feel humbled and I feel happy, but I feel like it's a great honor to be put in there with Coach Madry and Coach Donaldson. They meant a whole lot to me in my growing up days, and after I was grown, I could look back, and they were good people, and they certainly had a lot of influence on me, and I certainly do not want to leave out Frank Hammond and Cecil Reddish. Both of them were influential also.
Well, you had a stellar career in Washington. Records still stand to this day. You played in Super Bowl VII. Super Bowl's right around the corner. When you look back on your career, does anything stand out besides playing in the Super Bowl?
Well, playing in the Super Bowl stands out, but the real thing that stands out to me is being able to stay there. When I left University of Georgia to go to Washington, I was drafted by the Redskins, and of course I've said this before. They didn't even talk to me prior to the draft. I was surprised to be drafted. The day that the draft came out, my roommate and I got together at lunchtime, and he said, "Hey, congratulations, you got drafted by the Redskins." And I said, "Oh yeah, and you got drafted by the Bears, didn't you?" And he said, "No, I'm serious." And I didn't know it. I mean, I thought they'd normally let you know, but they didn't. So I was drafted by the Redskins and didn't even know it.
And you stayed there many, many years. And again, I want to go back to your high school career. You had a great career at high school. As you mentioned, you played both ways, played fullback and linebacker, played for some state championships. What stands out in your high school career?
Well, everything in my high school days stands out to me now as I look back on it. One of the biggest things was the coaches. I had some great coaches, starting with Frank Hammond and, going right on up through the rest of the coaches, and some teammates. I always say Mike Priester and Jack Richardson and guys like that David Connor, guys like that I dealt with. So I met or got to know and played with a lot of guys that deserve credit for a lot of what I did. So I appreciate that, of course.
Well, I still remember those touchdown club days when Jim Bowie would call you the star, and most people consider you just a legend here at Wayne County, and it's a great honor. And again, just want to congratulate you on this honor tonight. Well,
thank you, Bob. And Jim Bowie has always been a good friend of mine, and he's a sport, and whatever he says is okay with everybody that he says it to.
And again, those comments to Len Haas, again, recognized last night. Again, his name will be added to the field. Len Haas played professional football for the Redskins from 64 to 77, starting in 192 consecutive games at center for the Redskins, which is still a record this day. Last night they showed some of his high school highlights, and there he played fullback and linebacker in his senior year, rushed for 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns. Again, a fitting tribute last night. Again, the field now forever, the Donaldson Madry Haas Field. A lot of hardware handed out last night as the team celebrated back-to-back region titles and a second ever regular undefeated season at school. Academics always stressed. Freshman academic award went to Caleb Watson. Sophomore academic award went to Jaden Miller. Junior academic award went to McKinley Cooper. And the senior academic award went to Griffin Boykin. Touchdown Club hands out 2 awards each night. The Jimmy Sullivan Award, presented each year by Dr. Harrell, voted on by the club members, went to Ashby Cribb. The Dirty Sock Award for the worst prognosticator of the year in the club went to Steve Ammons. Other varsity awards, the Turnover Chain Award went to Kalijah Hartzall. He had 8 interceptions this year, 2 pick sixes. He'll be back next season. The Durability Award went to lineman David Vann. The Hammer Award went to Ty Anderson. Best offensive lineman went to Weston Franklin. Best defensive lineman went to Logan Pritchard. Offensive Player of the Year, MJ Fuller. MJ also took home Super Jacket Award for being the best player pound for pound on the team. Yellow Jacket Award went to Pat Rogers. Pat also took home Best Defensive Player of the Year. Most Improved Player of the Year went to Khalees Hadley. Best Receiver, Trevin Wallace. Best Linebacker, Hunter Scott. And the MVP went to Ashby Cribb. Ashby also won the Special Teams Player of the Year as he stepped in as punter, averaged over 45 yards per punt this year. Both the JV and freshman teams honored as well. Freshman awards, offensive lineman Demetrius Everett. Most Improved Defensive Player, Dylan Lewis. Defensive Lineman of the Year, Brad Irati. Best Defensive Player, Roderick Digsby. Best Offensive Player, Zion Jackson. Most Improved Player of the Year, Brennan Lee. And the MVP of the freshman team, scoring 20 touchdowns on the season, went to DeVaris Wilkins. Coach Jason Brown says the team went 5-2, played mostly against JV players all year long. Also, the JV team was recognized. They went unbeaten. The Yellow Jacket Award went to Gray Davis. Offensive Lineman of the Year, Jaden Miller. Defensive Lineman of the Year, Sammy Wilkerson. Most Improved Defensive Player, Antoine McBride. Craig Davis. Most Improved Defensive Skill Player, Jayshon Corin. Offensive Skills Player, Terrell Wright. The JV MVP went to quarterback Trey Pierce. FCA gave out an annual award, and that went to senior Gant Starling. And let's look at your Wayne County High School Touchdown Club banquet, again celebrating a regular undefeated season and a second straight region title at the school. Wayne County's wrestling team competed this past weekend at the dual tournament in Guyton, Georgia. Jackets finished 5th in the 5-team region event. Ware County took home first place, followed by Statesboro at number 2. South Effingham finished 3rd, New Hampstead 4th, and then Wayne County 5th. Top 2 teams advanced to the state dual meet in Macon on the 17th of this month. This is the first year for wrestling at Wayne County High School, and again, the participation has been great. Teams coached by David Poinsett. High school basketball back in action this Friday night at home. The teams host Ware County. Girls game at 6. The boys varsity game at 7:30. The boys currently off to 3-1 start in region play. The girls at 2-2. NFL down to the NFC and AFC title games, which will be held this Sunday. Can be heard right here on Big Dog Country, FM 105.5 on Westwood 1. NFC features New Orleans Saints at home hosting the LA Rams. In the AFC, the New England Patriots are in their 8th straight title game. They're on the road to play Kansas City. Their record on the road in title games is 3-5. Andy Reid with Kansas City trying to get back to the Super Bowl. Last time he was in the Super Bowl was with Philadelphia as they played in Super Bowl 39 down in Jacksonville, Florida. That's going to do it for latest in local sports. Sports is brought to you each and every day at this time by your friends at Harris Ace Hardware.
This is Charles Huffman at Jesup Housing Outlet. If you haven't been to Jesup Housing Outlet lately, you're missing out on a large selection of new and exciting floor plans from the nation's top manufacturers like Clayton, Fleetwood, Scott Built, and Homes of Merit. All of our homes feature modern kitchens and appliances, R60 and higher insulation values, thermopane windows, and energy-efficient heat pumps. We have 2 locations to serve you, 2452 Savannah Highway in Jesup and Highway 301 South between I-16 and the bypass in Statesboro. Come see Charles, Faye, or Sherida today.
Are you in the need for a family physician? Southern Family Medicine is now open in Jesup and is accepting new patients. Southern Family Medicine is located at Dr. Gehring's old office. They accept same-day appointments, and some weekend appointments are available. Check out their website, southernmedicine.com. They are also on Facebook.